How's it going, everybody? I'm here with the whole team. I got Jordan. Ow! I got Israel.
Right here.
And then I got Ariana.
Hello.
Yeah. So a short story as far as like how I met these guys. I met Jordan at Latinx protest. He was going after that word. I don't know what was going on that day. I got Israel over here. He's an Avengers of just like the gripping, you know, has that master grip, and then Ariana, master editor. And of course, if you guys want to dispute those claims, go for it.
Yeah, I want to hear about Jordan's. What?
That's
He likes to be called Latinx.
a story for another day.
Is that how you say it? Latinx?
I don't know, Jordan, you tell us the story.
So,
Wait, that's not real though, is it?
no, absolutely not.
I was like, hold on, that's not the story I heard.
It could be.
Now it
To the
is.
people, it could.
Now it is.
This gorilla grip? What is that
Yeah.
about?
Sometimes when I use Irvin stuff, you know, I do tend to turn the knob a little too much.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you're
yeah.
strong.
the one
Yeah,
who
yeah,
does
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
strong,
Or
I'm
like,
sorry.
why can't I put my tripod back? You know, I was like,
strong.
oh, I'm like, oh, Israel probably had it. You know,
All right, guys. Y'all gotta hit the weights. I'm just saying, y'all gotta hit the weights.
all right. To start off this podcast a little bit different, I'm going to actually have you guys have a little contest between all three of you, and the winner gets a Starbucks gift card. So the way that this goes is you guys are going to just do rock, paper, scissors.
Oh, man.
And of course, whoever wins will get this.
Is it best out of three or just one round?
Just
One
one
straight
round,
up.
one round. But
Oh,
it's going to
gosh.
be, it's going to go with you and Israel, and then whoever wins will then play Jordan. And then whoever wins that, you know, technically will,
Just win.
yeah, will win.
I feel
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Okay.
We'll just win.
Yeah. Just keep it short and
Man,
easy.
I suck at rock, paper,
Dun,
scissors.
dun,
okay, is it
dun.
the 1, 2, 3 shoot, or are we doing rock, paper,
1, 2,
scissors?
3. Rock. 1, 2, shoot.
Wait.
Oh my goodness.
1, 2.
I try to make it as easy as
1, 2,
possible.
Shoot.
Shoot. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. There you
Gosh,
go.
okay.
1, 2, shoot.
It's too early
So
for
I
rock,
this.
already know what
paper,
you're gonna do.
scissors.
I already know what you're gonna do. I literally know already.
And it's not expired. I swear.
I already know what to shoot. I already know what
How
she's
much
gonna
is it?
shoot. I know I'm gonna win.
I already know.
$15.
All right.
You're going to do the...
Ready?
Okay.
1.
Wait, hold on.
1, 2.
I don't know what
Oh,
I
it was tied. It was tied, though. It was tied. Let's do it again.
Well, no mas.
I got you.
All right.
Hold on. This is... I've never played
Here,
this
I'll
way.
do it. Ready? Rock.
Wait, hold on. Wait. No, it's 1, 2, shoot, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Paper,
Okay.
scissors. It's the
All right.
same
Fine.
thing.
Whatever.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah.
You're gonna shoot scissors again. I
Okay.
already know.
Yeah.
I already know you're gonna shoot scissors again.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Okay, Ari won. Ari won. Dun, dun,
Yes.
dun.
Shit.
All right.
Bruh.
The guy with the words.
Uh-oh.
Got you.
Okay. All right, ready?
Okay, this is confusing. Yeah.
Rock, paper,
Paper.
scissors.
Oh,
Ah. All
How
right.
you gonna do that?
All right.
no.
I lost for a reason.
Okay, so you won technically, and then, or she won from Israel.
So now me and Israel.
2 out of 3 on them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think
2 out of 3
I
on
think
them.
you should then. You have to then
So
beat
then
him.
he gets a chance to get back in.
Redemption.
Redemption. You
Okay.
sure?
Yeah, yeah. Because then if you win, then we do a tiebreaker. Because I won one.
Everyone goes at the same time.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
He wins
Done that
because
in
then
the
we all have
beginning.
one win.
All right.
We should've
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Started
Ready?
with that.
Rock, paper, scissors.
All right.
Dang.
There. Now it's
Oh,
just
I
2
think
though.
he
Now
won.
it's just 2.
Who won?
Us.
You won.
Yeah.
All right.
He won.
You won.
both.
Rock,
If you
baby.
both.
Congratulations.
Honestly, I saw Ari do rock, and I thought, okay, I guess rock is
All
the
right.
winner.
Rock is the winner.
Oh,
Just kept picking rock.
That's true. That's true.
Well, congratulations, Jordan. You get to go to Starbucks, get a meal.
There you go. There you go.
You know, that's what
that's
that's what you guys
To
do.
my mom.
Let your mom get a coffee, bro.
Yeah.
Right? Get that venti. Get that venti cup.
But,
Get that big one.
Trenta, bro. Trenta bigger. Trenta bigger.
I'm gonna wrap it and save it for Christmas.
Right. I see your mom. Look what Jordan gave me. I was like,
She's like, oh my God, gave me some Starbucks
Give me a gift
card.
card.
I care so much.
all right, you guys. Well, of course, this is our first time being all in one podcast. We did do individuals. I think me and Ari were talking about having your brother in on
Next one?
the coming up future because
Okay.
we have like a calendar as far as like who we're gonna bring in.
Podcast.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll bring him in and actually introduce him to the to our 20 people that listen and actually view our podcast.
Right?
I guess technically most of the teams
Right.
here, not all. Of
I
the
haven't
teams.
had more than 4 likes, bro. That's a win for me, bro. That's a win.
We're
for you.
growing. We're growing. I see our view, you know, like I'm like, who listens to our podcast? And I get
Our mom.
just at least
Just
10
kidding.
people. For me, that's a win. 10 people, but we're getting within like now the 50, 70s. I think the first one that me and Ari did was within the 170 something, which is actually pretty cool because I'm like, we did an hour podcast and I'm like, who'd want to listen to us for an hour? That's a long time.
I just have it on repeat.
Right.
It's Ari. It's Ari. The 100 is Ari.
She has like 6 phones going.
It's just muted and they're just going. But yeah, we're definitely growing our audience. So definitely we'll bring Isaac in, hopefully in the future, so that people can actually recognize who he is. He's another editor with InView Media that we brought in, I'm going to say 3 months ago.
Oh, yeah. 3 months.
So Ari's actually the
Been
one
a
that's
savior for me.
been actually doing the training with him as far as like all the walkthrough system, as far as like what I taught her when it came down to the walkthrough videos, and now he's actually doing the vertical videos, the subtitles and everything. So he's actually coming through with a lot of things that we technically needed as far as within the team to keep it growing. So he's definitely a big help for us for sure.
Yeah, he's been doing awesome. Shout out to Isaac.
Yeah, shout out to Isaac. As far as everybody, because the year is actually coming to an end. Now this November, Israel came in at this month. Like literally, he probably sat down at this table the same day, the same time. Because I remember it was in the morning too, and we had an interview. With him. I had an interview with him in the morning, and literally he came in. And we had a small little chat as far as like my expectations within people that are coming into the team. And then what I wanted to hear his side as far as like what he was wanting from us, as far as like the company. And, he's still here, like he did the internship.
Sadly, y'all gonna see me here for another a long time, probably. So I mean,
not sadly, not sadly, but he's definitely been a big help when it came down to like at the time, we literally were coming in from almost starting from the beginning. At that time, I think Clinton had left and bought into a racetrack photography business. So now that's what he's doing, and then the other people that were in the team, they're doing their own thing. That's how it goes within companies. Unfortunately, people come and go, and you just have to keep going. If you want to keep growing, if you want to pursue your dreams, there's no excuse. And of course, shortly after, Mr. Jordan came in, right, like within the ends of November, right?
No, you know what? The first time I went to a house with you, that was when Clinton told you that he was going to be leaving.
Yeah. But no, that was like a day after your interview though.
That was the day after the interview.
Yeah.
The first day I went to a house with you.
Yeah.
We were doing the Matterport. And I remember I got in the car and he's like, I actually got to talk to you.
But you guys are all in the same car?
No, we separate. Yeah.
But he called you on the phone?
No, he was there. He was doing the photo and video, and then I was there to then train Jordan. Yeah.
Yeah. And then also just like kind of
introduce and
see like show. He was doing the Matterport. So it's a perfect time to say, hey, this is what we do. This is him doing it. We're tag teaming a house right now. This is kind of what it looks like.
Yeah, for sure.
And just trying to get to know who I am because it was still new.
I
met him literally the day before. And that day I talked to him for the first time.
You met him the day before?
No, you.
Oh, gotcha. Gotcha. Oh, I thought you were talking about Clinton.
No.
Gotcha.
I met Clinton that one time, and that's like the only time I ever talked to him.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because
cool
Clinton
guy
is a really nice guy.
Cool guy.
He's kind of mellow when it comes down to like his personality. Like he comes off very like reserved. But once you get to know him, he's like, yeah, he's one of us for sure.
He's awesome.
Yeah, he's
funny.
Yeah, he's one of us. He could take a joke. I'm always cracking jokes on everyone. You guys are cracking jokes on me. Same thing with Clinton. He was the old guy in their team. Like he would always complain about his knees, and of course, once you tell me what's wrong with you, I'm just gonna pick at it. Yeah, so for sure.
You guys used to do that all the time. Like
we're guys. That's what we do. That's literally what we do. That's how we entertain each other. If I'm not making fun of you, that means I don't care about you. That's literally how we compliment each other. And if you're not roasting me back, I'm like, okay, I need to walk on eggshells on you. I don't want to be around you.
He's not being loved.
Yeah, I don't want to be around you.
Irvin goes home and cries secretly. My hair.
my friend didn't call me ugly.
Nobody called me ugly.
Nobody
today.
told me anything.
He said, I had a nice shirt.
Yeah, so yeah, for sure that was the day that you met Clinton. That was like his last day with the team.
Yeah.
And like I said, things happen for a reason. I still talk to him on a weekly basis or if not a monthly basis. Every now and then we do go and eat or hang out. He always calls me up because he's more into the gaming side. So I'm not. I got into more of the Oculus because of him. He still hits me up for that, and that's kind of where we kind of still chatted up on the Oculus. We're like shooting zombies, and I'm like, "Yo, what's up? What's going on in the track?" And we're just literally killing stuff.
I'm just saying, Clint got an invite to go racing sometime. You know?
Yeah, right. We need to get that tracks. You know,
I got the Civic outside.
Oh
ready.
shit! Okay.
I'm just saying.
We got the one wheel. You know, got the one wheel.
That's gonna be the next competition. We're all gonna race each other.
We're gonna race
got
for
the one
$25 gift card.
for pink slips.
I got my skateboard in the back.
Oh, the bush. Israel knows all about the one wheel on the bush.
Yes, I do.
That was amazing.
Yeah, we gotta post that stuff. We gotta post that.
I have it in my phone.
Oh, we all got it on our phone.
I bet.
We all got
I
it.
bet.
I'm gonna need that because I got a new phone.
No.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, for sure. Jordan came in within that time span as far as like the end of this month, correct? November?
November.
I think so. Something like that.
Something like that. It's hard to remember because I don't know. It's just been.
It went by so fast.
Yeah, it goes by fast,
it went crazy.
I feel like it was at the end of October.
I think
Was
it
it
was like
October?
a month later or something like that.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. So then I got my months wrong then.
Yeah, because I think I put in work like.
Cause I remember being in the team probably for like a month.
Were
and
you-
then I met Jordan.
I don't remember it because I don't remember going through Halloween with you.
No, so I think
No,
that's
so-
like when I met you.
Like in like that,
Like the end of
End of
Halloween.
October.
Yeah, the
which
end
is
of
like
October.
literally Halloween.
Which is Halloween, you know. But
Not exactly on Halloween.
Not on the 31st, you know.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah, I met you
well,
on the
there's
31st.
another date on October. What's going on here? I'm confused. Did we add another week or another day? What's going on?
He met you like before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, all right. I got you.
Let's say that. Let's change the season.
I got you.
I
I
was
got
actually thinking about what was Halloween like last year, and
I don't remember.
Well, I
either.
mean, I think it wasn't anything, right? It was just still COVID, right?
No. They had Halloween, but it was they had a baseball game that day,
okay.
and no one went out. They were literally
okay,
watching that
okay.
baseball
Ooh,
game.
had a
I don't know. Baseball
Dodgers,
people.
Probably.
I don't know.
Dodgers,
Really?
The Dodgers.
I don't know.
Dodgers.
I don't know. I don't watch baseball. I don't watch
man.
TV either, so I wouldn't know.
No.
You were just watching TV.
I was like, literally, I was like, where are the people
Ari,
coming? They're
Ari,
not coming
that's
to my
YouTube.
house. They're
That's YouTube, Ari.
Better go on, man. Dude.
Yeah, so running down through the year, I kind of want to get maybe if you guys have any stories that you guys want to, funny stories about me or Ari, or if not, encounters with clients, encounters with vacant houses, encounters with anything that you guys, any
Ghosts.
paranormal activities at any of the listings that we've shot or that you guys have shot. Because I'm not with you guys hardly anymore as I was in the beginning, or just your experience
I'm never with you
with
guys,
with one another. How is the camaraderie with the team? You know, all that stuff. Just
Yeah, I mean, it's for sure done a lot of houses now. I think at this point, I guess, for sure, some of them. I mean, I know for sure that 2 of them I felt weird. For sure, I think someone probably passed away or something like that. You know,
Were they empty houses?
Yeah. Those were more empty houses, and like I think it was one of them that were, I can't remember the agent, but yeah, I think she was trying. I think she gave me controls for an Xbox for that one.
oh,
I think that house was like, I don't know. I
Paula.
remember that house being
That was
a little
Paula.
weird or something like that.
No,
It's
it's
Paula. But yeah, and then I got Xbox controls for free, y'all.
Yeah, I got a blender.
That's
A
pretty
blender
cool.
right there. I think Ari was supposed to go pick up some flowers. Or
Oh yeah,
something.
plants.
Flowers.
Yeah, no, I
plants,
sent you.
yeah.
I sent you a text
Yeah.
saying that she had a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
But Ari already got
And I
enough
was
plants
like-
probably at home. So
Yeah, she brought one in the studio. So
I wish I had more plans.
Nah, but
Yeah,
other than that, I
I'd bring
mean,
one.
it just everything else has just been like very, very, very like calm and just go do a house and talk to the owner probably most of the time. If the owner is there. If not, I mean, if it's vacant, it's mostly probably singing in the house, right?
Man,
Right?
oh
I mean,
my Lord,
I mean,
Lord.
pretty much, huh?
Jeez.
Or telling each other jokes if we're there at the in the same house.
Yeah.
Oh,
Where most of the time we're
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
talking or doing something or talking about like Marvel or like,
yeah.
any TV
any type
show,
of
anything
conversation
like
that comes
you
to
know.
Yeah.
And we're like on the other side of the house. He's on the other side. We screaming. You gotta scream to talk to each other.
Yeah, it's really fun when it's vacant and
Mm-hmm.
I'm singing so loud I hear an echo and I scare myself.
Mhm.
Is someone else here?
Yeah. But I don't think anything weird has happened at any houses. I think I get lost in conversation sometimes. I'll meet like a tenant there, and then we're just vibing.
Yeah, we all noticed that. Yeah, you love to talk. We
Yeah.
we
Even
love to
like the realtors, man. I gotta like
But
not
they-
respond sometimes because I'm like, yo, I'm just gonna keep talking.
Keep going.
Yeah.
You guys need to leave me alone.
Which is, it's a good trait though. It's a good trait to have,
Yeah.
you know, having communication skills and stuff like that. That's something that I had to build off of. I think the one thing that you need to work on is multitasking while talking, you know.
Yeah.
Same
That's
here.
the one thing that I had to like,
That thing's tough.
it kind of came gradually for me. It's something that I don't even think about. And you guys pointed it out to me, like I'm talking and I'm working, but it wasn't something that I wasn't thinking about. It was like, they wanted to talk. So I'm like, all right, let me not make this awkward. So
Yeah.
let's make this conversation fluid, you know, where it goes both ways. And then with Israel, it's more of he could concentrate, but once he's concentrating on his task, he shuts down as far as like when it comes to the environment with the conversation.
Conversation, yeah.
Yeah, so definitely lots to work on that. But yeah, definitely, you guys, the work that you guys been producing, you know, I am seeing the reviews on Google, you know, that people are complimenting. So those are good, you know, those are always good to have.
Yo, man, that's like I told Israel like a few weeks ago. I was like, bro, I feel like a real estate photographer now. I confidently like
I got a Google review.
yeah, no, but it's just like where I go to a house, it starts working in habit.
You're just
and-
confident.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
I finish the house and I'm driving home and I'm like, what the fuck? Like I finished? Like hold on.
Yeah.
I'm going home right now. But a bad thing about this job, which is it's probably just my fault, but I have so much time now that I'm so entitled to that time.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if it's something that takes like an hour longer, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Right.
Like, what is this, dude? This is some bullshit. It's like I was doing 12-hour shifts at Tokyo Steakhouse,
Right.
like, being greasy as hell.
Yeah.
Like, now, like I'm never greasy. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't smell like fish or raw
You
meat.
know, smell like onions.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude,
Right.
man. It's,
Yeah, definitely.
but that entitlement of like it's my time.
Right,
Like,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
ridiculous. Like,
Yeah, and of course, I think we were talking about this prior to the podcast starting about your listing yesterday, how the house wasn't even ready for you to actually do it, and you had to wait a little bit longer because either something happened within communication with the realtor, client, cleaning people that were there, the cleaning crew, and then you were there basically stuck waiting. Those are things that I've always pushed on you guys. Just the realtor has to respect our time just as much as we respect their client's time, as far as like going in and out and doing it respectfully and actually doing it correctly as well. But with that being said, there's a lot of things that we need to implement as far as like how to have you guys voice, you know, like what you guys are going through within that time span. And I think I had said like, just call up the realtor, because you told me you had to, instead of doing it within an hour, it took you 3 hours.
just about a little shy of 3 hours.
Yeah, and that's a good chunk of your life. That's a
Yeah.
good chunk of your life, you know?
Oh, and then it was Matterport too, and I was moving. I was getting it all done, and it literally came down to me talking to the tenant, and she was like a teacher or something at Highland, so
Yeah.
we were just chatting it up, and I was just sitting there like, dang. But then a part of me too, though, I'm also thinking about the future. Am I gonna want to come back tomorrow?
Right.
You know, I'm already here.
Yeah.
And it's like it is an inconvenience and it sucks, but it is what it is. Both listings actually had delays. The thing that I liked about the second house though is the realtor actually showed up, you know, and she was there
And mentioned it before.
and mentioned it before,
Yeah.
and then she's just being the communication was strong. You know, the double-edged sword of a realtor not being there is that we can go quick. You know, if the tenant is there already, they're comfortable having us be there. But if it's not ready and they're not there, then it's kind of like, oh, this sucks. Because if you were witnessing this right now, it'd be a lot easier because you would understand. But if you're not there, then it just becomes a game of telephone. And
Yeah.
that gets a little messy.
Yeah, and there's different ways that we're going to kind of probably implement policies within the company to then send out either via email or if not, write it in our website. That way, because what we're doing is still fairly new within the market. Of course, it's a little bit, it's getting a little bit more saturated with other photographers coming in and trying to try to do the same exact same thing that we're doing. But it's not like they're applying anything, it's just a copycat of what we're doing, but there's nothing being set as far as like policies or rules or fees, or expectations. So those are the things that we're setting for this community. And of course, I'm learning as I go. Of course, now that you guys are fully into the team, I'm now not worried about the training section. Now I'm not worried. It's more of a concern to like just understand, okay, what else could we improve on, for both parties, for the client and for ourselves, because we do want to keep going to another house. And at the time that we're said, that we needed to be there rather than you guys being rushed or me being rushed. And then we're like, oh, I forgot something, but it was because we were distracted on the anxiety that we need to just get it done. But of course, those are things that we're going to probably speak about behind closed doors, of course.
And I just think that's because it's a company, and other people that are entrepreneurs and just doing it themselves, they don't really, sadly, they don't stand up for themselves, I suppose, in like in a company matter, because they just want that next paycheck,
Yeah,
so
for sure.
it's something you have to do sometimes, because it is what it is. You build your brand, you build your thing, but now that it's a company, like your company and stuff, that's why it makes sense, like, to always want to make it better and then have expectations and have goals and things like that. Because if you don't, it's just going to stay the same every
for sure.
month,
it's going to become a headache, and there's
same.
resentment now towards not the client, maybe towards me or the company. And I'm like, nah, that's something that we just need to really start understanding how to, I guess, speak about to the client, and then of course send out or set standards on our website.
Yeah, it's like a balancing act, right? It's like, what can we put in place that's going to benefit you guys in terms of like your time and everything that you guys spoke on, but also the client. Like, what can we do to make both people happy and make it as fast as possible, as painless as possible, with least amount of like mistakes or
and for the right price. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I think it's mainly with the majority of customers or people that purchase things from something, which we're delivering a product. You know what I mean? And I think that's why I think this company is like really good, and it's gonna become bigger just because of that reason. Like I said, the entrepreneurs don't do that standard. Like they just don't. It's just sadly they have to live with that demeanor of like the person that's purchasing their product doesn't actually value their product like they're supposed to. You know what I mean? And they're literally getting paid less to do that product, and it's just not fair to them. You know what I'm saying? And that's what sucks about this. It's like I noticed with the weddings and all this other stuff, it's just it gets very, very generic to where people just don't want to pay for it because they think they could do it off their phone,
Yeah.
And even when they do get that product that wasn't made on the phone, they still have some sort of sense in their mind that's like, oh, I could still do this myself.
Yeah, and I think
and they don't appreciate the work, So it's like that's where I think the company, that's where you make them appreciate that work, because like you're like, without me, there is no work, or it's not going to be the same work. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Like it's just the value of the work.
It's the value of the work, but also the standard of like consistency of like delivering that work that we're trying to like show off on our Instagram or website. But I 100% agree. And of course I am slowly tiptoeing on removing myself from the wedding scene. I did talk to you, everyone in the team, because you guys do, or I don't think you've helped me out with the wedding yet. But as far as like Israel, Ariana, Aaron, and then I've had my friend Sarah come on one of the weddings. It's one of those things that I enjoy doing because it's a thing that there's a lot of categories of creativity that goes on in that one day. You're doing product photography, you're doing documentary photography, you're doing directing, you're doing posing as far as like with the couples and the families, and then you have lighting, you have audio.
It feels like what you're doing is very important.
Yeah, exactly. But it's another full-time gig.
It's extremely oversaturated.
That's what I was going to say. Now it's oversaturated to the point where could I make a living, and then could I pay him? Could I pay her? And then your brothers actually helped me out with the editing now. So it's like I'm trying to like put in place where my prices aren't too much where people can't afford it. But it's reasonable enough where I could kind of make some money. He could make money, she could make money, and his brother could make money. But what I've noticed is that like you said, it's been so saturated that everybody's competing with one another that someone will say, hey, I'll do it for 3,000 or 4,000. And then there's another newbie with the, oh, I just bought a new Sony. I'll do it for $1,000 or $500.
Yep.
And of course the client is more on the idea like, oh, let's just save money. Because weddings are expensive.
They are expensive.
They're really expensive. And of course they go off of that $1,000 videographer, photographer. And then there's more of them now than there's more of us. Now, of course, I could definitely make that company grow how it's growing with this company, but it would take so much time and effort that I needed to divide myself from it so that I can make one thing successful. I'm not going to put myself in two places and then just make it mediocre just so that I could say, oh, I'm making extra money on the side. Of course, once this company builds its system and we get more people in, I do want to go and see if we could go in as a team. And now, okay, if I'm not available, Israel, this one's for you. You're going to take a bigger cut. And then already have, Ariana on the scene or Isaac for the editing, and you, if you ever come in to do the weddings as well. But of course that's going to come in the future and that takes time. Just as much as the effort that's going to go into this company, it would have to go into that company as well.
And I think that's part of building a business too, is like making those sacrifices, making those decisions. Because, sometimes you do want to do it all. Sometimes you do enjoy other things, but it's like, what really do I need to focus on? And sacrificing those other parts, sacrificing time, to focus on the one thing and make that really good. I'm not sad that I'm not going to do it as much. It was just a period of my time that it's okay. You can tell us you cried.
Oh yeah, I definitely cried, especially at the weddings. Especially at the weddings.
I get it.
Every single wedding, Irvin cries.
I didn't lose a daughter. I gained a son. Okay.
Share the recording, Irvin.
In the video, they get the video. They just, who's crying?
Who has asthma?
They're looking at themselves like, I'm not crying.
Yeah, no one was crying. It's a videographer.
See, like I would only do weddings if you guys really needed me to. I don't think about shooting weddings, and I'm like, oh yeah, let's go, man! Like heck yeah.
Now here's the thing: I think you would enjoy it a lot more than realistic photography.
Yeah,
because you're an extrovert.
Yeah, I mean, but,
he said, yeah.
It's
food, beer.
It's unbelievable. The real estate is
Music.
nice because it's routine. It's literally
it's routine for the weddings too.
Once you do it,
Once you do it more than
super
once,
routine. Especially how I am structured as a person.
Yeah.
Like it has to be routine for me. So when she came in, she's still doing the same thing. Nothing has changed from start to finish. Like, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to meet up an hour before. We're going to talk to the bride. We're going to talk to the groom. We're going to talk to the coordinator. From there, we're going to set up. What's the first thing that we're going to do? Oh, we're going to do the bride and groom. So let's do the product stuff. So the rings, it's literally a system.
It's a system,
yeah.
And it is fun at one point, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just a creative thing.
Yeah.
It's like, and then in my opinion, the first fun part about it for me was just learning it.
Okay.
Yeah. Once it becomes routine, that's when it becomes a little more just like saturated and more a little more like, oh, I know what I'm doing type thing. Yeah. But when I was learning, I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
I don't know, just the fact that I would clench my butt cheeks, bro, just to get that shot, just to get that kiss, bro, because it's scary, bro.
You can't go to the bathroom.
Kiss,
can't go to the bathroom.
You can't go to the bathroom, bro.
There was
You
one
can't
time
do
where
anything.
I didn't press record.
Oh my
You see what I'm saying?
goodness!
Like, it's so many things that you're just like, oh my god,
Yeah.
But it's for some reason, I like it. I don't know. I don't know. It's a fetish, bro.
It's just a fetish.
Bro.
What the heck?
It's a fetish, bro. I
goodness.
like certain things. That
It's
just,
a fetish.
maybe I like people telling me no. I don't
This
know.
guy, he's into weddings. Oh my goodness! It's
I
his
think
thing.
what also makes weddings enjoyable is like the team you're working with too.
Exactly,
That can make or break how enjoyable the wedding is.
The whole day is.
And
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
like the weddings that we do, it's so fun because we usually
And it's such
the
a cool
same
place,
team,
too.
We
Yeah.
know the photographers,
Yeah.
or so it always makes it fun.
Yeah,
And shout out to Hacienda, right?
yeah. Of course, Ruby and Jonathan.
yeah,
Hopefully,
yeah.
they'll come on the podcast pretty
One
soon
day,
too.
yeah.
I do want to give them props because they've always helped me out as far as like my journey when it comes to the photography side and the videography side. I've known Jonathan since maybe before junior high, and then he married Ruby, which they're both owners of Pixels and Prints.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
they're at the ranch.
there you go.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh,
So I got contacted through, I think it was Facebook or Instagram. Ruby messaged me. She's like, "Oh, I'm looking for a videographer because I'm always being asked for weddings and stuff." Of course, I had maybe done 2 at that time. I had posted. My first one was for free. The second one I charged $100, and I posted those. From there, she asked me like, "Oh, I like your wedding videography." I get asked, "Could I get your contact?" From there, we started communicating. Within maybe a month or 2 of talking, of like going back and forth in my head, I'm like, oh, she knows that I know her husband because I've known him for the longest time. And then out of the blue, she's like, I didn't know you knew my husband, Jonathan. I'm like, I thought that's how you got my contact. So it was pretty fun as far as like how we got connected with each other.
It was a lot more organic.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly,
Yeah, but of course, they've always helped me out as far as like if I ever needed anything. When we did the Halloween event here for our clients, they let us borrow their Santa chair.
Yeah, their
that's
chair,
cool.
their
Yeah.
beautiful chair.
Yeah, and then of course we just did that Blair Witch little skit on our phones, and no hesitancy on either part. You know, like I called Jonathan, like, hey, could we use the ranch? He's like, when, what time? And we were there. You know, there.
Such a fun day.
Yeah, and those are the people that I want you guys to meet. You know, because I could honestly say that they're very genuine people as far as like who they are as
And they are
creatives.
for sure, because I seen Ruby at Target shopping for ornaments. I was shopping for ornaments
Really?
too. Yeah, I'm doing a Nightmare Before Christmas tree. So no one take the idea. Right? If I see anyone with one, I swear I'm just
It's
letting you
gonna be
know.
my
We're all
living
gonna- we're
room.
gonna
Just
do it
letting you know.
here.
It's
You
gonna
can
be
get
doing.
eggnog all over your
Oh no!
all over your,
Oh
your
my
stuff,
goodness!
man.
Man,
No,
guy's
but I was
angry.
at the store, and you know, some people they just walk by and don't see you, you know, or act like they didn't see you. Type
Yeah,
thing, you know what
that's
I'm
me.
saying? Like that's me, low key. I'm not gonna lie, yeah, that's me, low key.
I
But
saw Ariana the other day. I was like,
turn your head, turn your head.
I don't know her.
I didn't see it. No, but she turned the corner and legit just said, "Hey, what are you doing here? You know, hi, how you doing?" And we just, you know, just said hi, and you know, that's it. And I find that genuine. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah,
don't find
yeah,
that from
yeah.
people
Yeah,
nowadays,
for
bro.
sure.
Like you just don't. And
Yeah.
it's sad that that little you know thing made me like, oh, okay, cool. Like she's actually cool. You
Yeah,
know?
for sure.
Other
Yeah.
people, it's just weird. You know, like,
Look,
Yeah.
if I'm at the store, I'm probably faded.
Oh
I'm
my
faded,
goodness!
I'm not gonna be able to recognize
Oh
your
my
face.
goodness.
Because I have this like the anxiousness of like, oh shit, I'm really
Well, look,
high
look,
right
look,
now.
th-
And
well,
I don't
look.
even want to make eye contact with anybody.
true.
What?
You know?
True, but,
Why are you calling-
at least she would say hi still though.
Yeah, she would, she would, she
And
would.
then I would be like
So, I
looking
mean-
at her like, oh my
She
god,
would.
what did I do? And
She
then
would.
it would register as
You know?
you're okay. But
Yeah.
like, yeah, like if that ever happens to me and someone sees me and I didn't
Hey.
ignore you.
Hey, it's
I
a
just-
conversation starter, bro. It's a conversation starter, man.
Yeah,
But that happens. I mean, some people you don't recognize, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
But
I
I
don't
mean-
even go to the store.
Exactly,
I just
yeah.
go I Instacart.
yeah,
everything
yeah,
that I buy.
yeah.
yeah.
2022, you know.
Latinx, bro.
You know. Mhm.
I've never done
happens.
Instacart.
Yeah, I've never done it either.
I've only done Walmart pickup,
I've never
No.
done
and
it.
I'll be honest with you, Walmart, y'all need some help, like,
Oh,
for real.
my goodness.
Because I'm in the pickup line, and bro, I'm doing pickup so I don't have to wait 30, 40 minutes to get my food. I'd rather have gone inside and shop for my food. But I'm literally waiting in my car for like 30, 40 minutes for them to come
See,
bring it
that's
to
why
my
I don't
car.
do that
I'm
stuff.
like, bruh,
Yeah,
I'm
I
done.
mainly
Man, I
shop
was
at
like, never
Costco.
mind. Costco's
So-
lit. Costco's lit.
But I'm not gonna drive in there.
Yeah,
the
yeah, I
traffic
feel it,
is
yeah.
so insane. So 100%, I'm gonna Instacart it, dude. If you get in a car accident getting my
But
stuff,
Costco, that's
Instacart-
just like such huge bundles of food, like, you know, bulk
It does.
for
You got to have a family type thing, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have
Well, I
me
guess
and me alone.
Yeah, you probably go through it easy.
Oh,
like,
bro, but I love food. Like if I didn't have dancing in my life,
Yeah.
I would be so overweight. Like I would be
Feel it.
like a fucking
yeah,
cheese
you
ball.
do eat a lot.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
do eat a lot.
And then even when I think I'm not eating a lot, maybe to Irvin, he's like, "Dang, like, okay,
I
you
get
put that
you.
down."
Yeah, it
and
makes
I'm
sense.
like, "Really? I could
Yeah.
use a little more."
That's
you know?
true. That one day
He said,
after
"Really?"
the ABC thing, and we went to, I was gonna drop you off, and
Oh,
we stopped to
yeah,
get
yeah.
food, and then you
gotcha.
ordered like this huge like. I
was
mean,
it?
finished.
Platter.
it was a lot of food
Chicken
to
chili
me, and I was
seafront?
like, "Dang!"
What were
I
they?
was like,
What would you
"You're
order?
gonna eat
Chicken
Man, I
chili
got
cheese
some
fries?
carne asada fries.
I knew it was gonna be
and
fries with something, bro. I knew
Burritos.
it. I knew it. I was literally
Bro.
calling it, bro. I was like chicken chili cheese fries.
No,
Yeah,
no,
what is that?
that's at Doubles.
That's
at
Doubles got
Doubles.
that, that chicken chili
Yeah.
cheese
That's so
fries.
funny. I asked my sister yesterday. I was like, "What did Jordan get from Doubles that one time?" And she's
Yeah.
like, "Chicken something something."
Yeah. You won't see them the next day.
What is it called?
You won't
Chicken
see them the
chili
next
cheese
day.
fries.
Chicken chili cheese
Yeah.
fries.
It's
Yeah.
too big, bro.
Yeah.
It's too
Yo, I literally like I love it. I don't know why. Potatoes, chicken.
Oh, potatoes are good.
Yeah, always.
Yeah, they're good.
I mean, chili cheese fries are good. I like chili cheese
Yeah,
fries. too.
any kind of like carne asada fries, chili cheese fries, like I'm with it. But I gotta have an actual meal with it because that's like the snack, you know. I gotta have my fucking burrito, you know, or a couple
With
tacos.
that big old serving of fries.
But yeah, because it's like to me it's like
That's
chips.
a snack.
Yeah, to me it's like chips.
That's
you know, you got
breakfast,
your-
lunch, and dinner, sir.
No, I'm lucky. I think like all the years of dancing that I did, my body's still working it out.
You have a good
Yeah,
metabolism.
it is and it's not. Let's be honest with you. Let's be honest.
No, I had to start working out again.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna go to. Like the other day,
Yeah.
you know, you're grabbing something from the floor or something, and your shirt got stuck in your stomach.
That was a couple. No, so all right, my face got hot because for the first time in my life, I had my stomach big enough. No, yeah, because I literally
Yeah,
my
it's-
stomach,
That
my
shit said,
shirt.
oh,
Yeah, it tucked under my stomach.
It was
and
hungry.
I was like, what the fuck? What is this? Is real? Like, what is going on?
Yeah, those
And
fries got to him for sure.
Yeah, bro, like
Yeah.
my face got hot and everything. I was like, no, I'm not getting fat. It's not happening. So yeah, now like, but body weight workouts are really easy. You know, anybody could do them from
Yeah,
the
for sure.
bedroom.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but no. You're
just-
you're a little bit of a.
gotta
It's,
do
it's,
the
just-
team-
it's up to the
team,
person if they
workout
roll out of the
challenge.
bed, though. You know what I'm saying? You could do it in the bedroom, but you got to roll out of bed, though. You know what
I
I'm
don't
saying?
know, bro. I
It's crazy.
literally,
It's
I
crazy,
hang
I'm just saying.
my body
It's crazy.
off the edge of my bed, and I do sit-ups like that.
But you came off. You know what I'm saying?
I'm still in my bed, bro.
Part of your body was off the bed.
Everyone listening to the podcast, they're going to be like, all right, I'm not getting off the bed. All right, I'm not getting off the bed. But I'm going to do crunches, though.
Yo, no, those are really. If
Yeah, I
y'all,
bet.
If y'all try those, I guarantee you're gonna slide off your bed the first time.
100%.
Yeah,
Like,
you literally you gotta flex so hard to just stay
yeah.
on the bed.
I used to do that actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. But no, I freaked out to Irvin one day because I was like, bro, it happened. Bro.
I
My
saw it.
shirt got
I saw it. I saw it. I got stuck.
It got stuck. Wait. So wait, how? Where did it get stuck? What?
It was at a
my
listing.
belly. Like, it's like literally like you got your little belly right
It's
here,
the,
right?
it's the, what is it
And
called?
It was just like a
The,
little roll, and it tucked under there. Where
it's called the love, it's called, what did they
Love
call it?
handle?
Love handle?
No,
Or is that what it's
La
called?
llanta.
Muffin top. There you go. Yeah, muffin top.
Something
Muffin
like
top.
that, yeah. And I literally like I felt.
I was trying to think.
like,
I'm like, my brother tells me it all the time at home. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, what?
That's all right.
What is it? You know, I'm like, I forgot, bro.
No, I actually I learned a lot from Israel too when it comes to like fat. You know, what like he gets cramps
Yeah,
at the listings while he was doing the gimbal,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
I see him on the floor like kneeling. I'm like, yo, what's going on? He's like, no, I got a cramp, and he's like rubbing himself
I gotta
somewhere,
punch it, bro.
you know. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
punch
what?
those out, bro.
I was
You
like,
gotta
what's
punch those
going
out.
on over here? He's like, I
When
get
you know, when you do the gimbal, you be in some weird positions. You know what I'm saying?
that's fair.
And then I'm like turning, like my body's turning, but my feet are going straight. You know what I'm saying? So then that bottom right side, bro. That bottom right side, I don't know
Okay,
what
you
happens,
guys
bro.
Gotta do more
Stretch.
stretching.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't stretch before I do
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Nah.
You stretch?
I do. Well, I do yoga, so
Yeah.
that
Oh, you do
kind
yoga,
of
yeah.
incorporates all
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah.
So you about to see me 20 minutes before the listing doing
We gotta do
breathing
team
techniques,
yoga.
bro.
team
Doing
He's on the
some
floor.
yoga.
He's on the floor.
You're gonna see my mat on the floor.
Bro, yoga's
The
lit,
agent's gonna
bro.
text like, "What's
What's going on in the
here?"
front?
I've been at-
He's getting ready for your listing.
houses are vacant and it's like me in Israel, and if I finish before him, I'll just like lay on the floor and start stretching.
Be chilling.
Oh yeah, I stretch too in the listings, yeah, for sure. No, stretching is a big thing for me, just because one, I am the oldest one out of the group, so
Even though
I
you don't
definitely
look like
feel
it.
it. I definitely feel it.
You replace Clinton.
I
in
definitely.
seniority.
All right, get that senior center discount at Denny's now. You know,
But no one would believe it. Everybody thinks
Yeah,
Israel's
yeah,
the
that's
oldest
what I'm
and
saying.
Really?
Irvin's
It's
the
weird.
youngest.
yeah,
weird.
yeah.
And
They,
then I'm the middle, which is
Yeah.
you know.
Maybe your facial hair.
It probably is. Once I shave it, it's because I get fat once I shave it, bro. If I shave it, you don't see
That
the
gives you
cheeks.
the
I'm like,
jawline.
fuck, bro. Yeah, it gives you the
Hey,
jawline.
I saw a picture of Israel when he was skinny. I was like, who is this guy?
It's gonna be the thumbnail.
Who is this guy? I was like, who
It's gonna
is
be the
that?
thumbnail, bro.
I was like, that was me. Like when? A year ago? I was like,
year
oh
ago.
my goodness.
Before your baby.
That's what happens, bro. You know.
You know the pictures that change when you like.
Yeah,
move
yeah.
them around?
Just one fat, one skinny. Nah, it's a whole different story when I'm skinny, bro. It's like, I look taller. It's
The
weird.
skinny
No,
Well,
face
like-
should have like a very like stoic look.
It
and then
do,
the
it
chubby
do.
face
Trust me.
should have a very
Oh, it
sweet-
do. My chin, it forms nice. Bro.
You got a nice chin.
It forms nice, bro. Trust. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
Nah, but I mean, it's just I think like I need to find time, you know, just finding time to work out, things like that. Eat better, that's
Yeah.
for sure. I became a father, so I was like, I'm enjoying my time, bro.
yeah,
You know what
enjoying
I'm
that
saying?
food
Like,
too.
I was just that's what I mean by time. It's food, bro. I'm enjoying food for sure. I've been enjoying food a lot. That's for sure.
You got your burger, like just the two of us
Bruh.
is playing. You're just fucking.
You know what I'm saying? Macking it, bro. Macking it, bro. I'm telling you, making love.
Yeah.
You know
What
I'm saying?
are you? Lactose intolerant, right?
And I'm lactose, bro. That's
And
the
he
thing. bro.
and
That's
he
the
likes
thing.
mac and cheese.
I wasn't lactose.
And he likes
I
mac
wasn't
and cheese.
lactose until like 2 years from today, probably. You know,
Really?
2 years from today.
It's some. It sucks. It really
let it
does
stop
suck.
you.
It's not. Bro.
He does, doesn't
on,
it? It doesn't.
bro.
When we go to
We go eat
what-
Denny's or something.
no, we go to Firehouse.
For
and-
cheese,
Yeah,
bro.
I know. And then we go
Where's mac and
to
cheese at?
we went to IHOP the other day.
Olive Garden.
Yeah.
Mo cheese,
You ain't-
baby, mo cheese.
When they ask me for the cheese, bro, I'm like, keep turning the wheel.
Yeah, just-
you might as
They're
well
like,
go
I'm
get
almost
another
down.
brick cut. Go get another brick, bro, because someone need another brick. You know what I'm saying? Nah, but it does mess me up though. I'm not gonna. I'm not
Oh
gonna
yeah,
lie,
yeah.
bro.
That's
Every
why it's called
single
lactose
time?
intolerant.
Like no
Alright.
doubt. Like, like I'm telling you, like it's like it's a nuke going off in your stomach. Like, that
Oh my
shit is bad,
goodness.
bro. I'm telling you.
Oh my goodness.
It's not good.
Oh my
Yeah, bro. Matter of fact, probably last night, what I eat?
Oh my goodness.
I
Oh
don't know.
no.
Oh,
trying
he's
to
gonna
get
be
it.
running out of the room.
Oh, my-
Yeah. No, I already.
Here real
That's the
quick.
thing. That's the thing. It happens to me like if I eat it during the day, and you know, it won't happen. Like it won't really hit me until like maybe at night. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like probably sharing at night.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying?
Poor wife.
Most of the time I'm sharing at night, bro.
Yeah, yeah, your poor
You know?
wife, bro.
Hey,
Oh, I don't
Your
even
part-
know.
hey. But it does give me gas though, bro.
Do you ever like put the blanket over her head?
over her head?
Yeah.
Nah, I just walk out and be honest with you. I got respect, bro. I got respect. You know?
That would be the difference
I got
between me and you.
I got
That's
respect,
probably,
bro. You
that's
know?
probably why I'm not married.
Yeah, you know.
Goodness.
I got respect. I be walking.
Carried your
I
baby
try to
for
walk
9
out.
months. You should have respect.
Yeah, right.
That's
Right.
that's funny.
But no, yeah, but I mean, my baby was born premature too, so it's like it was just a whole thing, like with the whole pregnancy.
Oh, dang.
Even like before, like I was like, all right, I had a goal for myself, like, all right, eat healthy, do certain things. Your baby's coming, you know,
Yeah.
be the best dad you can be, type thing, you know. The whole me trying to be exercise and do all of that just really kind of fell off because I was very worried about my wife
Oh,
because
yeah.
she was sick with because
Yeah.
she had high blood pressure and all that stuff, and she was in the hospital. I was in the hospital for like 2 months, 2.5 for some, just literally 1 for my wife, and then when she had the baby,
Yeah.
my baby was in the NICU still for like a whole month and a half.
Dang.
So it's just I would literally have to go home and sleep without my baby, and then come back in the morning and
Yeah.
be there the whole day, you know. So it's just like I didn't give a damn about my weight, bro.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
like what do I
Yeah.
give a fuck about how I
Yeah,
look?
exactly.
You know? Like, I
You're
don't
worried
care
about like more important
I
things.
still don't care about how I look or
Yeah,
like
yeah.
my physique or
Yeah, we
anything
could
like
talk.
that.
No, that's
It's-
all right.
Exactly.
We got
right?
you.
It's just more of like for me, it's more of like I don't care for that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I know when I do get skinny again, or like when I do start looking more proper again, is gonna bring more opportunities. Because
Yeah.
sadly, that's just what this world is. You know what I'm saying?
It's not
in
the
some way, you
opportunity
know?
that comes with the actual loss of weight. It's more of the personality
That
and
comes
energy
with
that
it.
comes with it.
Exactly, Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's just where I want to become more talkative again. You know, things like that. I became very like introvert,
Like reserved.
very reserved. You know,
Yeah.
I like hanging out with someone made kind of feel like work. Like it was just weird. Like I couldn't keep a conversation.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, maybe it wasn't about something I was caring about at the moment.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's the thing
Yeah.
that I feel like friends disappear from each other
Yeah,
because
for
it's
sure.
just I don't want to go to a party or I don't want to go do this. I'd rather just sit here and be with my best friend, which is my daughter at the moment. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like that's literally all it is. And now that she's like 1 year and 9 months now, I'm like I'm
Yeah.
like okay. She's starting to say no, you know, little
Yeah.
words, you know, and it's funny and
She's
it's
coming
cool.
through.
Personality.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, okay, like now there's no excuse. I'm not necessarily like in a depressed mode or
Yeah,
like
yeah.
in in like a worried mode, you know,
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
Now I'm like, let's
You're just-
let's
yeah,
go.
living-
you know, like
you're
now
living.
it's time to like
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
shoot for the stars
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like show her what real like what life can be, you know.
Yeah, for
And I
sure.
want to show her like what like working out every morning, you know, like
Yeah.
because I've seen other videos of like little kids like and they're doing yoga or like doing like funny things because their parents are
Yeah.
doing it every
Yeah,
day,
for
you
sure.
know. So that's what I'm like. Nah, I need
Yeah.
to for sure keep doing that,
Yeah.
and then I like showing her creative things. Like when I tell her to take a picture or like let me take a picture of you, she'll literally pose. Like she'll pose. So that's what I'm trying to get her to
so
realize
cute.
that what my camera is, what we're doing.
Yeah.
I sing to her, you know, because I write music too and stuff. So it's like I stopped doing all those things, but then I realized like, you know, your daughter is here now. Like these are all the things you should be doing that made you happy, that made everyone, you know, happy, like things like that. So I'm
That's
for sure
awesome.
trying
Yeah.
to shoot for the stars.
What
for
was your
sure.
daughter's name again?
Ava.
Ava.
Ava Emilia Hernandez.
She's
Shout out.
so cute too.
And I know her
Shout out.
birthday's coming up.
Very it's coming
Yeah.
up January 27th.
Yeah, the only reason I know that's because it's my birthday
It's his
too.
birthday too, yeah.
Share a birthday.
literally.
That's awesome.
So I
so
mean, oh by the way,
cute.
I'm asking for this now. I'm gonna need the 27th off, bro.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, me too.
You
Two
too
people
though.
from
You
the
too
team
though.
God. You and I got to pick up a
Right,
slack,
right.
man.
Because I might be
Got
taking her to
this.
Disneyland that
Nice,
day. So
nice,
you know,
nice. For the
see
first
what's
time?
up. Nah, she's been already, but just yeah, pretty much like the second time probably.
Oh, gotcha. That's cool.
She'll be
So-
old enough to like.
Exactly. Yeah.
Enjoy
So
it
she'll
more
be actually
probably.
more happy this time
Yeah.
and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So yeah, I'm excited for that.
That's cool.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
And then if you want to come,
Oh, for sure. You know, take the
it's your
pictures.
birthday
I'll
too,
take the
bro. You know,
pictures, yeah.
it's your birthday too.
I'll take the picture.
Well, let's just all go.
Let's just all
Yeah,
go.
let's all go. Let's- might as well.
InView
27th
to
off
right, the
everybody?
27th
Right.
off for everyone.
Bring my gift, bro. Let's fucking do it.
Yeah.
Funny, my sister's birthday is the day after the 28th.
There you go. Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's a big month.
Yeah,
Then.
time goes by quick though.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I'm
because we
saying.
went to your daughter's
Yeah,
First
yeah. It was
birthday.
like, was it a birthday?
Yeah,
it was
it
the
was
birthday.
first.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
thought it was a
Cold
Halloween
as
party.
shit
For
It
sure.
was
outside.
really cold.
Yeah, very
It
cold.
was, I
Very
was trying to
cold.
stand outside.
Very cold.
Oh, for
This is
sure.
cool.
Yeah.
Jordan is not good with cold weather at all.
yeah.
You know, like a little breeze gets his neck. He's like shivering already. Like, oh my God. And I was like, bro, it's like 80 degrees outside. Like, come on.
It was like 50.
Yeah, 55.
I'm used to 108.
108,
okay?
Jesus.
Damn it.
Yeah, we just did an event for Mike Watson, one of our clients, and he did a client appreciation
Okay.
little party for Halloween, I believe. And he had like tacos. He was giving out pumpkins, and then of course every year he hires me to do photos for the whole event. This is the first year that I actually had Jordan come through
Nice.
to help me out because he's like, hey, I'm going to want someone to walk around and take pictures rather than just the little spot that
The
they
whole
usually have me.
generic picture,
And yeah, sure enough, that it was a cold night, you know, but it was one of our first cold nights that we had out here. And for me, I run
was
hot,
windy.
you know, I run hot. And of course, I have Jordan, not knowing where Jordan and cold fit in, bro. This whole time, he's like, "It's so cold. It's so." I'm like, Jordan, just go stand next to the heater, please. Like, just go over there.
You didn't offer him your jacket?
I did. I did.
I had a
I
jacket
honestly
on.
did.
I
Should
did.
have another one. Get another one.
I did. I told him like, look, I run hot. Take my jacket. He had what are the
Yeah, because I was gonna say
windbreakers?
always he's always
Windbreaker.
offering like Sarah or
I
Yeah.
me
run
or
hella
anyone.
hot.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I mean, it was
As soon as I
fine
start
until it started
walking-
getting dark out. And then,
Well, yeah,
and then
yeah.
the shade, like we were like the trees were casting a shadow, so I'm just in the shade. And then he's like, "Go stand in the sun." I'm like,
He was telling me right away after like within an hour. He's like, I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it.
yeah, bro. I was like,
I was like,
"Bro,
what's
fuck."
going on over here?
It's so bad.
Damn.
I literally told him like, bro, if there's ever an apocalypse, you can't come with me. Nah, it's not gonna happen. You're gonna be the one that's gonna be shivering the whole
God
time.
dang it.
I like, nah. I was like, we need get some coats on you 1st, and then we'll be talking.
You need some heated beanbags or
Yeah,
something, bro.
if it's the apocalypse, I'm gonna be super like running with a whole bunch of clothes on, goggles on.
The
and
zombies are
everything.
after you. I'm like, Jordan, take off that jacket. You'll run faster. He's like, no, I'll get
Nope.
cold.
He was
It'll
the
protect you
zombies
from
trying
the
to bite me.
bites,
Yeah.
though. Yeah.
I'm gonna
Three
be like,
jackets.
hee hee.
They'll get your ankles. Don't worry. They'll find something.
They'll find something.
If I turn, then I'm coming after your ass.
All right.
He said, get your warm ass over here.
I'll be like, Jordan, your shirt got stuck in your stomach again. You're like, you're just distracted on your
Start
stomach.
Zombies have insecurities.
Right.
That's how you stop them.
All right.
That's the ugly ass toe you got there, bro. For real.
Yeah, definitely this year has been very interesting for not only for myself, but for the whole crew, you know, like for you guys have definitely come in to like, actually, you guys came in with the purpose of actually wanting to do what we're doing. And to be honest with you, I'm very grateful for everybody that has put in that work, you know, that I've implemented. Cause I know for a fact, I'm not the one person that says, oh, that's okay. You know, like I'm not going to say, oh, that was good enough. I'll make you do certain takes like 5 times if I need to. And if it takes us an hour just to do that one take, that's kind of the standard that I always want to make sure that anybody that comes in to this company that understands that it is a good job to get into, it's a good career to get into, but it's work, you know? And then from when you actually go in with that mindset and you implement, like now you're saying you're a real estate photographer after a year, you know, it took you almost a whole year to actually
feel that way,
you know, get that confidence in, you know, where you're like going in and out. You're like no longer thinking about what you're doing. It's one of those things that it could be fun when you're at this stage right now, because now we're going into okay, now we have time to do skits.
Exactly.
Now we have time to do podcasts. And then of course we're trying to, me and Ari were actually talking about seeing if we could do monthly skits now. You know, and then have you guys direct something like where you guys come up with the concept. And of course, me with the resources of knowledge as far as like the equipment, same with Ari, same with Israel with the camera stuff. And then the editing, you know, it's easy for us to collab on everything where it's not just on one person, you know, and it's just going to give you guys a different perspective of how to create something different besides just doing real estate. Because the idea of my company, or I'm not going to say my company, it's our company, you know, is that I'm bringing in people that I want to hang out with, but also the same thing that I have in my head where it has to start with work, you know, consistency. And then of course from there, okay, now let's enjoy what we've created, you know, from there. Now we're going to create, like I said, skits. I'm trying to do the podcast for everybody so that you guys are going to be highlighted. Next one's going to be your brother. And of course, I at one point want to step out of the podcast and maybe just be at the board and then have you guys take over, you know, and then have Ari, you know, have a guest here and then you be in my place. And now you guys are going to be the face of the company rather than just me being the face right now. Everybody recognizes me because I am the one that started it, but I don't want to be the main person. I don't want to be the main character. InView Media doesn't have a face. It's just the symbol. The symbol is just all of us.
Yeah.
So definitely
like you know, who owns American Idol? You know,
right?
Not Ryan Seacrest, I'll tell you that. But he's for show the face,
right.
You know, unless he does. Then I'm like, oh shit.
I mean, I don't think so. I think it's more of just like, I mean, Steve Jobs made Apple, bro, but Apple's Apple. You feel me?
Steve Jobs was more of the face
of Apple, yeah.
Steve
but now
Jobs.
it's not at all. You know what I'm saying? Apple's just the face of Apple.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
that shit took over a long time ago. Yeah, but even if he was, they ran him out a long time ago. They were trying to run him out a long time ago, though. Even when he was inventing the Apple, no?
Who? Steve Jobs? He got fired.
Yeah, he got fired.
Yeah, he got fired, but then he got in because he bought a bunch of stock and they didn't know that it was him.
Exactly.
So he literally sold all that stock, made all the CEOs think that they were losing the money. So they went into the idea like, let's get the face again, the guy that brought the vision, because he was more of the vision. He didn't create it. He didn't create the computer. And he had the vision to tell the engineers like, hey, this is what I'm thinking. This is the format. And then he kind of went and, you know, did his thing. But of course, when he got fired, he bought a bunch of stock, like literally almost like half, like a good chunk, and then sold it all off. The CEOs thought, hey, we're losing, so let's bring him in back. And then, of course, it turned out that it was him. But he then fired all the CEOs that took him out. That guy was definitely a very smart guy. Right?
Very smart guy.
Man, that is crazy. He had, when he died or something, every guest that he had at his funeral got a copy of this book called The Autobiography of a Yogi. And that book is lit. I don't know if you guys have ever read it, but oh my God, that shit is so dope. Very hard to read, though. There's so much information that like I had to listen to it like 4 or 5 times because it was like, it's literally about a yogi, you know, and if you grow up in America, it's a completely different life.
Yeah.
Talking about like metaphysics and fucking some God coming into his dreams and him being a divine one, and like it's insane.
Sounds like my life.
Unbelievable.
Every morning she wakes up.
She wakes up to Bourdain. Hello.
She's like, where's my earring? She's like, no, I'm just gonna use one.
Because I walked in with only one earring on.
I remember everything.
I was running late. No, it's actually the opposite. I wake up and I'm like, Bourdain.
She's worshiping
Like,
her cat.
No, it's funny
Bourdain's
because I
my child. What?
I built like my sister and I built like the ofrendas, the Dia de los
Offering?
Muertos, yeah. And we had like lights and everything, and it was like really cute. And then like 5 minutes later, Bourdain jumps up there and she's sitting there just like. She like acting like we built that for her.
Right.
It's a cat stand now. It's a cat post now.
Like this isn't.
Don't get mad
you,
when she starts
girl. Get
scratching on it.
Yeah, she thinks everything's for her.
The offering was for family members. Okay, cool, nice.
Family members, pets,
Pets. And
Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant.
Kobe and
Hey,
Gigi.
you got to.
Oh,
You got to.
goodness.
You got to put it up for all of them, man.
But
For all of them.
Yeah. Now that we are actually going within, like I said, the ends of this year.
Yeah.
Your first experience without me being at the house, and your first experience with you guys working together. Could you guys give us a little brief story from how you guys were working then, and now how you guys are now working now? Because the idea of the how I implemented the system was that you're going to come with me, you're going to learn how I go in and out of a house, how I communicate, and then of course I was doing video, you were doing photo, or you were doing video, I was doing photo, but then you guys never had the the opportunity, I guess, because the opportunity had to have come with experience as far as like I needed to just have you guys at a house to see how you guys are working without me being there, because I'm the one that directs everything. I'm like, okay, Jordan, you do this while I do this, or Israel, you go outside and do this while I do this. How, because I'm not there when you guys are there by yourselves, How is that working out now,
I think pretty good now.
From then
opinion,
to like the difference?
I'd say from when we first started, I think it was probably the only reason it was like not 100% like fluid, was I think it because I was still learning and he was still learning. So we were probably like, in my opinion, I was just like second guessing a lot of the things that I was even thinking probably. Yeah. So if I wanted to like make a plan or even tell him something, I was probably already just overthinking it and just like, maybe I shouldn't tell him to do that, or maybe we shouldn't do this. Maybe we should do it like this. So it was just more of like me overthinking things probably. But other than like now, it's more of just like, okay, it's very simple because who goes in the house first? I get to do the drone first. Then I go inside. Then he's out of the way. Then I can finish doing the living room. He could do the rooms, and then he's gone, and I'm just finishing, and then I go. So it's just more of like the flow of it. Yeah, that's literally it. The flow of it. I mean, now when there's problems to at a house and we're waiting together or doing certain things, we just communicate now. And we're like, what should we do for this time then? Should we do the drone? Should we do
just exterior photos?
Exactly, exterior photos.
The backyard.
If we're waiting, what can we do? And then
they're
just
taking too long.
Exactly.
Call Irvin.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here.
Exactly. So we just communicate now. I think more of like we just talk a lot more.
Yeah.
I think,
okay.
And then more of like instead of not talking and kind of like in the beginning, and it wasn't even that we weren't talking. It was kind of just more of like I wasn't completely sure if I was telling him the right thing, if I was telling him like, oh, what would Irvin do?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So that's where I think I was most of the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And same question, Jordan?
The flow has definitely gotten better. Went from like, it's a very simple shot, but somehow I'm messing that up. It's like I'm getting a whole other section of the wall, and it's like, what is this? Now it's like, it'd be dumb to make a mistake like that. So all the little stuff got ironed out, as well as if there's a more challenging room, my mind is problem solving a lot quicker, and it kind of gets exciting. It's like, ooh, this is a little difficult, Also, I know that in the beginning, the flash didn't make as much sense to me. And then after just, repetition, it's like, oh, okay, this is easy peasy. And to think that it was difficult, I was overcomplicating it before, making it to be something that it's not. Now, just 1, 2, 3, really easy. I would be nervous with the realtors in the beginning too. Now I'm like, yo, can we get all the lights on? Get on my way.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
You're the boss.
What would you say was, for both of you, the most difficult part about Israel for video for you, and then for photo for you, like when you were first on your own doing it?
The flash.
The flash.
Yeah, because like some rooms can be like really big
And dark.
and dark.
And if the paint's not white,
Yeah.
it's a
paint's
big
not
The
difference.
white.
ceiling, yeah.
Yeah.
The colors start coming out all weird, and instead of being white, it's like orange.
Pretty much you have no lights. It's like.
What would you
the-
say helped you with that? Like just doing it, like just repeatedly doing it, or is there something specifically in the
Well,
process
we got
that
lucky
helped
to have somebody that already
That already knows,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like
That-
that.
why- literally asking questions.
Yeah, yeah. Just
As soon as you go through the situation you went through, you're like, okay, let me just call Irvin or let me just ask
yeah,
someone, you know?
yeah. If he's around,
If
it's
he's
like,
around, yeah.
hey, like this is good. How could it be better?
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
and it's continuously seeking improvement because sure, it was good enough,
Mm-hmm.
but because I asked, could it be better, and then he just moved it ever so slightly, my brain is like, I see
Yeah.
the difference there. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's something so simple as to that, but
Yeah.
as well as it's his company that he's grown for the past 3 years prior, so now it's 4. The more I can make it look like his, the better for the company, you know, as a whole. And that's probably the hardest part. Like, video's still hard.
I did, but for photos, that I agree. Like that's literally, in my opinion, was the flash,
Flash.
just because of the fact that as a photographer, I never used flash. Like
Most
that, you know? Yeah,
photographers
most
don't.
photographers don't.
Won't.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
more of like studio photographers or people that really get into it
Yeah.
as like a
yeah.
profession.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
think cameras are so accessible now, and then
Exactly, yeah.
phones take really nice pictures because it's HDR as well. So everybody in their head, they're like, "Oh, I'm a photographer, and I'm just
Exactly.
going to do natural light." Now phones are very like they're getting better on low light
Low light
situations.
yeah.
So they're like not even thinking about flash or strobes or any type
But no
of
matter what, a
artificial light.
flash and a strobe will always make your picture look better.
Oh, for sure. If you know how to use
if
it,
you know how to
yes.
use them, yeah,
Yes.
and position,
Yeah, if you know how to use
So,
it, yeah, for sure.
That's what I realized. You know, I was like, oh, okay, like, and that's what I was excited too about, honestly, too, just being able to use flash. 'Cause I was like, oh, I never used flash.
Yeah.
I mean, like learning this would be cool, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that I think it was the most
Yeah.
difficult part though, was learning the flash,
photo,
like
yeah.
just because of the fact that literally the paint on the wall could
Yeah.
eat all the flash, and you have no light now, and you're like, oh, what do I do? Like,
Yeah.
I don't have a third light, or I don't have like 4 more lights with me, you know. So it's like you have to figure it out. And you just ask questions, and
Yeah.
Irvin told us, you know, you can tear down your shutter speed a little bit if you can, you know. There's certain little things you could do.
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
yeah. You
So-
just ask enough questions
Mhm.
to where then if you ask yourself the question months down the line, you hear Irvin's voice.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
it's just like him
And then
giving
sometimes at one
direction.
point you see his eyes too, you know.
Yeah, when I'm mad.
Like
Yeah,
you're
when
now
I'm-
his
Oh, I
eyes.
thought you meant like his literal eyes. I was like,
No, like you literally like.
you're like, okay.
That's
like
what I
that,
caught.
You know,
That's
how,
it.
you know how like he was saying he just
You've
moved it a
been-
little bit this
Yeah,
way.
yeah, yeah.
Able to, like, develop that-
exactly
that-
like you sit there and you're like,
Looking at
oh
my
no,
soul.
Irvin would move it a little bit this way, you know.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
just that like
It's
just being
becoming
able
like
to
second
Yeah,
nature.
yeah.
to you
exactly
guys
yeah
now.
it's becoming a little second nature. Video wise for me, I think it was easier than photos for me.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was-
You were
I
coming
think-
in for the video section
exactly,
already.
Yeah, I already knew video. I did like gimbal
Yeah.
work and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So it's kind of that wasn't really the issue for me. I think more of the issue maybe with video was like the drone,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
because it's scary. You know? I'm like that's literally it.
We
Like,
had the stories of that.
Other than that, I mean, it's all good. Like the drone thing it's pretty fair. It's very simple
For
now.
drones.
Like it's the easiest thing to do now. But
We should do a
at
drone
first,
race.
I was just scared because I mean, first of all, it wasn't even my drone, you know. So it's just like it's sketchy, you know.
Yeah, I
But
guess
now
that-
it's
yeah,
better. Now
that's
it's way
the scary
better.
part.
My drone's like easy now,
Yeah.
peasy. Literally in video, the only hard part probably is like
Staircases. For me, it's staircases.
not even
Staircases.
like for me it's not. I don't think it's staircases. For me, it's being in weird positions and sweating.
Yeah, you just
like that's it. Like
And then
like
the
just
difference-
sweating, bro. And the difference is you see like for me it's just like the little physical things about
Yeah.
it. It's not even like the technique of the video.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
not at all. But I mean there is obviously ways I can get way better at video.
Yeah.
You know, like I know for sure because I went to this nice house the other time and it was in LA and like I was trying to do I probably gave you that photo. Yeah,
Oh,
I think
yeah,
that's
yeah.
the one I
I know
gave
which
you
one you're talking
and it
about.
had like way more footage than it was
Yeah, yeah.
supposed
He created
to.
a movie.
But it's because I exactly.
No,
'cause-
they love that video.
Okay, cool. I just wasn't. I wasn't sure how to like. Like I kept getting takes, and I was like, nah, I could do another one this way. You know,
Yeah.
I could do another one over here, and then like I was just trying to be a little more creative
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it was a very nice house.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
Those
and I
are the
noticed
best.
that. I noticed that.
And that's the thing, but I did leave a good amount of clips for Ari. I'm sorry. Sorry,
No,
Ari.
it's funny because I remembered that person calling specifically to like schedule that.
Yeah.
And when they called me, I think they said that house was like less than 2,500 square feet.
Yeah.
And they just wanted video. So I was like, okay, easy peasy. Israel's available. Let's send him out. And then I think it got pushed back a few days.
Yeah, a few days.
And then when I went to like download the footage, there was like 200 clips or something. I'm like, what? Like,
Yeah.
Isn't this house only like, like.
No, but even then, the house that was there, bro,
It
completely
was a completely
deleted.
different house.
Completely deleted,
It wasn't
bro. They
even
picked
the
it
house
up.
that they said.
The video game didn't render yet, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like it just wasn't there. But I looked it up on Google before I was going. I was like, oh, this is gonna be easy
Yeah.
peasy, bro. It's a 1-story house, easy. You know, like a Lancaster house looking house.
Yeah.
I got there, but completely different house, bro.
It was
They
like-
picked it up, moved it, and put a mansion, bro. And I was like,
Yeah, it was a beautiful
yeah, bro. I was like,
house.
what? Like the backyard was amazing.
I think it's like a 4,000 square foot house.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what it was.
So
like,
we
in the
undercharged?
end. It was changed, so it was.
Probably.
But like,
I don't know.
I didn't realize that because we sent the invoice out
Yeah, before.
So yes.
So, yeah.
Okay, so
yes.
we lost money on that one for
We
sure.
lost money on that
We
one,
lost
guys.
money.
Which I was like, when I
All
was
this
watching it, I was
Yeah,
like, hold
bro.
on a second.
Yeah.
I was like, hold on a second. There's no way this house is
Yeah,
like
that's what I was
2,500 square
thinking
feet.
too.
Yeah.
I was like, no. And I remember I was like sitting at home, like saying this to my sister. I was like, no way. There's no way. And then, they love the video.
See,
They
but
really
that's
liked
another
it.
note now.
But
Now I know when I'm there and I see that it's the deleted house. It's a whole new house.
Yeah,
there.
it's not the right square footage.
Let me be like, yo,
Yeah.
Irvin, is this the
Yeah,
right
yeah.
square footage for this house?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like
So
let's
we-
actually do the.
They were charged like the most amount that we have, I think,
Mm-hmm.
on.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So I think it was like in terms of like our pricing.
Gotcha.
Okay.
but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're undercharged
But I
either
mean,
way.
hey,
4,000 square
that's the thing.
feet.
You never
was-
stop learning.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It was a
Like,
beautiful house,
it's just,
though.
but
It
it was
was
a very
really
nice house,
pretty.
crazy, and yeah, it was. I like the opportunity to be able to do it. You know, I was
Yeah.
like, that's
Yeah.
cool. That's
The
cool.
only reason I asked, as far as the question that I asked in the beginning, is because I do want to keep bringing in people as far as like within the
100%.
team. And of course, you guys are the students as far as like what the experiences that you guys gone through, you know, working together and then working with myself, working with Ari. And of course, I just want to get in your headspace when it comes to these situations, just so that when people come through, either if they're listening to this podcast, they could kind of relate later on, or if not, we could then, you know, just, I could
Help
hear
them
it from
out
you
or ask
guys
them.
and then say, hey, this is what worked out for these guys, you know, to improve, you know, like that camaraderie when they're at a house and then sink in, you know, because I've always said that when I would work with Clinton, it was not even a thought process as far as like, we would literally just drive up to the house, say hi to each other, and then just do the work. And there was no communication at all. Like as far as like, you do this, you do that. It was like instinctually. I saw him already at a kitchen. I'm like, instinctually, I'm going to go upstairs or outside and vice versa. But that it was never taught to us. You know, it wasn't something that we were saying like, hey, let's structure something. But now that you guys are coming in, and when I'm with you guys, or in the beginning when I was with you guys, it was somewhat the same, but I was directing.
Yeah.
You know, I already knew what needed to happen prior. You know, I'll just tell you guys like, hey, we're going to start here. But then when you guys are by yourselves, different situations do occur. And now when in the beginning you guys were working together, situations occurred that you guys needed to kind of understand that I'm not there. And now you guys are the ones that are having to take the reins as far as like making the decisions. But yeah, that was the reason for that question, you know?
Yeah, and I think it's gonna help anyone that comes into the team, in my opinion. Like anything that they ask us was gonna help, just because, like, I know for sure even video is not easy to do. You know what I'm saying? So I know it was easy for me, but it's not gonna be easy maybe for the next person. You know?
Yeah. It's a
Like
lot
it's-
harder for me as opposed to
Yeah, you
photography.
see this,
The
I'm saying.
photography, I'm like, yeah, man, it's easy, you know, do.
Yeah.
I think anybody coming on, they just have to want to work hard.
Yeah.
If they don't want to work hard, probably not the company for you.
Yeah.
Because it's like the amount that you apply yourself is going to be how fast you grow.
Yeah.
And if you're waiting for somebody to push you, like, I don't know. The best luck you'd have is like me pushing you. The moment you like get emotional about it, I just leave you alone, and it's like, I'm not gonna push you anymore. You know, good luck. Yeah. But that's a thing. I think like you, if I respond well, you don't mind pushing me. You're like, yeah, for sure. Like go. But just not everybody's like that, and.
But that's why it's particularly people that are able to be in a team or able to
take criticism.
Exactly. You know, there's particularly people and that's why we're going to train people and they might not work, or we're going to train people and they will work. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a matter of, honestly, sadly, it is a matter of the person that it is. You know what I'm saying? Because if the person that they are, they don't actually think of like, oh, let me move forward, or let me succeed in this year, or okay, in this year I'm not gonna make $5,000 or $10,000, but I am gonna get better at this, and then next year I can maybe do something different. You know, maybe I could do more. But I think it's more of like Irvin looks for people, in my opinion, that will take initiative at one point and will look for work. You know, like the people that look for work. Pretty
Everyone
much, you know?
that Irvin brought in has stayed, right?
Pretty much.
David?
And Clinton, but Clinton was because
but he stayed.
For sure.
No, yeah, and that's the thing.
Everyone else that has came since I've been here has not.
Yeah, and it's been tough. Literally, it's been this year for me in the beginning. When you guys actually last year, my bad. I'm gonna say around this time. Yeah. That's when we were starting over as far as like build up again, because we lost 2 photographers and I lost my main photographer, videographer, which was Clinton, and that year kicked my ass, like, because that was when the houses were just selling like hotcakes. You know, literally would go do a house, then the following day there was already like bids for that house, you know, but we were doing like 3-4 houses, maybe sometimes 7 houses a day. And sometimes I was doing 3-4 houses a day myself, and diamond packages too, not just an amber package. And sometimes I was going to the Valley, or starting Lancaster Valley and then going somewhere, I don't even know where else. So it was a everyday thing.
4 houses.
Yeah. And it was everyday thing. Yeah. And then once you were being interviewed, I believe we had lost already the photographer first, not Clinton. And I had basically just mentioned it to you, like, hey, we're startup. Israel was coming in already doing the training, but he wasn't doing the houses by himself yet. And I was already tired, you know, like December was supposed to be my break. You know, like if everything had gone well, December was going to be my, like, my little, okay, let me reset and let me acknowledge what is being grown as far as like within the company, because we just had this studio space at that time for a couple months. It was like everything was new. And then when that happened, it was like, oh, I can't reset. Like literally I'm already in the plateau of like just dropping onto the ground of exhaustion. And I was telling Ari, because she was like concerned, you know, like once Clinton left and the other photographer left, we started talking, and I told her, like, I'm just tired. That's all it really is. I'm not giving up. I'm just tired. Like, I'm not in the mindset that there's a quit. You know, I'm not going to quit. It's just I know I need to rest, but it's not the time to rest, even though it was the time to rest.
No, I get that, because like when we were doing Hyde Athletic Center, I wanted to quit so many times, because it was like, bro, we're working 3 weeks, like 12 hours a day, and I haven't been paid. Like, what is this? And it was like us literally building it, you know. But that's like the price of having your own business.
Yeah.
You know, this is like why I was like, from the beginning, I've told you, it's like, oh yeah, I'm down, because I want to help you out. Like as if I were to go in my past and be the person to help me out, you know? So if I can't be that, then I never deserved anybody to help me to begin with, you know? So for whatever venture that comes on, if I want that, I have to give that and do that first. So it just all worked out.
Oh, for sure. And like now I'm noticing, like, okay, we have the team already. Like you guys came in. We have another intern that's doing the training as well. Hopefully he'll stick around long term as well, so that we could kind of like keep building the team where it's consistently, we're not just in the AV, we're now approaching the Valley. But like I said, then towards this year, completely different.
Yeah.
You know, then I was on the train. All right, Israel, let's go to the house. All right, Israel, let's go do drone flying around this building just so that we could kind of get you going with the drone as well. And the same thing with you. So it wasn't a day that I had to rest. You know, it was a consistent thing. And then even when I gave the last week of December off last year, it wasn't like I took that week off. I was here with you guys, or you guys were here once with me because we had someone else try to come into the team, and I had a painter, you know, painting this room. Remember? Yeah. So I was technically within that week, I was still working, and then of course January came, and I'm like, all right, Jordan, let's go, or Israel, let's go. You know, it was a constant thing. So it was nothing as far as like a mindset of like, okay, you need to stop because there is going to be a point where there's a burnout. It was like, no, just go. That's it. There's no
rest.
There is no resting right now. There's no weekends. There's no days off. There's no sick days. There's no sad days. There's no happy days. There's literally just go, and that's it. Just keep moving.
And I remember
when I burn out.
I remember, December was going to be like slower. And then obviously that happened. You're like, I don't even get a break. And I was like, I know that sucks. But then you're like, oh, well, you know, January is going to be a slow month because usually it is a slow month. Yeah. But it wasn't. Like, it was still like, we were still getting a ton of houses. And I was like, what the heck? Like, I'm still editing like 3 houses a day. Like, I want to rest.
Right.
I remember December, though, that was like, I would never will go back in time and re-experience that because now that a house can take me an hour, sometimes 45 minutes, you know. We were we did 2 houses in like 7 hours.
Yeah.
It was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm not down.
Yeah, well, it was the idea that I wanted you guys to kind of get certain things specifically and ingrain it into your memories. In order for me to do that, I had to be patient because I understood that you were coming in with no knowledge at all. And then you were coming in with the knowledge of understanding your camera, but not understanding real estate, photography, videography. Yeah. So I know my efforts needed to be more on the patient side rather than, okay, you guys just need to do it. And this is the one time I'm gonna show you. And then if you don't do it, you're not in the team. Yeah. That's not how it's built. You know, I had to be really patient as far as like, okay, this is how we do the drone. And the drone is one thing. That's just one specific thing. And that takes time. Exterior photos. Okay, this is what we do. You know, I'm like studying my brain while I'm teaching you guys. Cause I never had to thought about these concepts in my head. And then I'm like, okay, this is what I think. Imagine the square and then the door and all this stuff. Same thing with the interiors, and the kitchen's different. The bathrooms are different. So everything had to have taken the time that it needed to be. But for sure, it took forever. At one listing, just Amber package, 3 hours.
Yeah. No, for real. Dude,
I know.
You're right. I was like,
I'm training somebody. Listen, kid, you need to focus. Okay, we in and out this bitch.
Right.
Oh man.
Yeah. But that's what I do hope, that if another member comes through, like you guys kind of show them that same type of patience. You know, because it's one of those things that, one, I am coming in from a little bit of a background of teaching. So I kind of understand that, you know, that concept of like, not everybody's going to learn a certain way, the way that I learned. So then I have to kind of like understand who you are character wise, and then how you process everything, you know, that way I could then teach you within that process of thought, rather than just implementing my own brain and my own way of thinking, my own way of learning, and then say, no, this is how I learned how to do it. This is how I memorize stuff. So this is how you're going to memorize, and this is how you're going to learn it. But yeah, it's just right.
I like teaching though. To be
unbelievable.
Like I can't. Like I am excited to be able to teach people because I just enjoy teaching. It's like fucking, I don't know. Because then as you're teaching somebody, you're learning how they learn, and then someone else learns just like them.
Yeah.
You know, and that's, to me, it's, I don't know.
Yeah, and I've definitely seen your progress, his progress, her progress is crazy to me. Just to think, like, just like you, a year ago this date, you didn't know how to do what you know now. Yeah. Just a year ago, You didn't know nothing about strobes. You didn't know nothing about wide angle lenses, aperture, ISO, shutter speed, nothing.
Yeah, if you were to tell me what's the difference between a tripod and a light stand, I couldn't tell you,
Right.
you know?
And we did have someone come in with that too. They're like, oh, I have a tripod. They brought me a light stand. I'm like, bro. I was like, what is this? I was like, this is not a tripod. This is a light stand.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I've seen every person's progress within the team. And like I said, I'm very grateful to have you guys on the team. I'm very grateful for all the work that you guys put in and the time that you guys put in. And of course, like just the push that you guys keep continuously doing as far as like implementing new ideas and then bringing in just the concept of, okay, I am cold, I'm hot, but we just need to get it done. There's no complaints, it is what it is. And hopefully it'll keep growing, the company keeps growing. Cause I always say that in the position that we're in, it's something that a lot of people want to do. It's just that it's a fantasy though, like they think it's just it's fun, which it is, but it's not just a creative space I'm going to do it when I want, We're going to get work consistently, and that consistency for some creators, it's too much,
Yeah, they rather work like a restaurant job and then have that like, oh, okay, this is all paved for me, instead of paving a path and sticking to that path, when ultimately you're going to find more fulfillment in that. And sure, it's fun, but it's still a job. I'm not going to these houses like, yeah, man, but look at this room. Yeah, living room. Like, no, not at all. Like, it's my job.
Yeah.
It's fun that I get to do it this kind of way. And it beats, realistically, any other job that I had. But yeah, it has to be taken seriously as a job.
For sure. Yeah, and then I guess question for Ariana, like now that you've been in the team for what, 3 years now? Or 2.5, I want to say? I don't remember.
Like 3 years now.
3 years?
About 3 years.
Yeah, 3 years.
I think I started November too.
Jeez, everybody started November.
Everybody.
Lucky November.
Lucky November. Yeah, of course she started with the weddings with me. That's kind of how we kind of got together when it came to the idea of, even starting the team. Not with the real estate, it was more of the weddings because I was kind of doing that more. And then real estate kind of picked up, and then that's when she came in and I asked her, I'm like, hey, would you like to do the editing? And then she's like, yeah, but
I was like, I've never done editing, but sure.
Yeah, exactly. So, my question to you would be like, your idea of what this is, then like what you thought of what the company was going to become, and now what it is now.
Well, I guess for me, I didn't see myself really being as involved in terms of like behind the scenes stuff, like the processes, the like admin stuff, all that. Like I didn't see myself doing any of that. But obviously as we've grown, it's something that was necessary, and seeing how busy you guys were, it's like it only made sense that like I would step up and do it. But I guess in the beginning, I knew you guys were busy, but I didn't see it or envision it blowing up in this way. Like I kind of just saw it like, oh, it's going to be an AV thing. We're out here like with the realtors in the AV, but now it's something that's like, okay, I can see this being something across California. I can see this being something that we can do like nationally. We can, have like satellite hubs or whatever, like across the nation. So
that'd be so
definitely
sick.
has like my vision of it has like grown a lot.
Yeah, that'd be so dope seeing like InView on like before a movie starts.
Right.
And it's like
A little production team.
yeah,
Right.
a little, and then,
Yeah.
like, I don't know. To me, that's what's most exciting.
Yeah.
Is creating like film shorts and
Yeah.
then diving into that world.
Yeah.
Real estate stuff is cool, but
Yeah.
I don't think anybody in this room is like, yes, I'm gonna be the best real estate photographer, videographer that ever existed.
There are some really
yourself,
good photographers that are just like, or videographers that I've noticed that are coming up, and I'm like, man, these guys are
But
good.
in this room, I don't think.
As far as for myself, anything that I do, and this is the one thing that I kind of noticed for myself, is that when I get into certain categories of work, I want to be like the guy. Like I want to be the best, not to show off to anybody else, but to show it off to myself. So like when I see a creative on Instagram and they're doing real estate photography or videography, and they're from like, I don't know, Vietnam or whatever, a different country, or I don't know, just I'm seeing their growth, but they're just consistently just showing that specific type of style. That kind of motivates me to want to be better, because I'm already doing it where it's like there's no thought in it anymore. So for me, that kind of like, I don't want it to hinder me because it's gonna bore me, you know.
Complacent with
exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how I think, you know, especially with the photography side too. I do try to change certain things up that I may not have taught in you, or may have taught in him, but it's for myself, my psyche, you know, like, okay, this is still creative for me, and then figure it out, you know, even if it's harder or more complicated to do, just see if you could do it. And if you could do it, then, you know, it makes me happy, you know, like, oh, there was growth that day.
Challenging yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing I can appreciate about having you guys, like, because you will go in a house and you'll shoot it one way. Israel will go in and he'll shoot it completely different, you know, and there's like certain angles or whatever that, you know, fundamentally
they're the same, but
but it's like, oh, this is an interesting shot. Like,
whenever I go to a house, I'm always like, whenever I see a different kitchen or something like that, or like a good way leading to the kitchen and things like that, I just try whatever I can. Like, pretty much just like, oh, okay, this is good competition, let me do this, you know.
And I think and that's something I can appreciate too. It's like I can see in the footage you give me, it's like you'll do something one way, and then you'll go in and you'll do it a different way, and then you'll even do one just like,
sadly, it's like
crazy, and I'm like, what is he doing here? What's
sadly,
happening?
it is like 3 different clips. It's pretty much like going in from like the living room to the kitchen, and then coming from a different way to show the kitchen, and then coming from a different way to show the kitchen. It's just, I don't know. I like to give
and
options.
sometimes it's like he's doing like, he'll go here and then he'll go around and then this way, and I'm like, okay, that's
it's just, the only reason I like doing that stuff, just because it looks really nice when it's done, you know. Like, I don't know, like when I see it in the video, I'm like, oh, that's a cool movement.
I think it's fun for it challenges.
Yeah,
like
and
Irvin
it's
was saying,
challenging
it
for
challenges
sure.
yourself to like continue to see things in a new way and keep yourself on your toes and not get bored with it.
Makes me sweat for sure.
Makes me sweat. He's opposite. You get really high, he gets really cold, hot. You know.
I get
hot.
No,
I'll see him in the beginning, we'll be fresh, and then I'll be like, hey, Israel, and he'll be wet. What's up, bro?
What's up, bro?
Just like,
God damn, man.
Yeah.
All my shirts bleached.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
I'm wearing white. I'm not wearing a shirt pretty much. Just sweat straight through. Nah, but yeah, I for sure try to challenge myself every time. Yeah. Every house I go to, I'm like, all right, for sure, let's see what you can do. Yeah. Especially even the small houses be challenging too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They be really challenging when pretty much when the kitchen is just like blocked off with all walls. Yeah. And it's not like an open kitchen. Yeah. It gets low key kind of hard. Yeah. It gets like, oh, okay, what can you do? Like, all right, slider here, going from wall to show kitchen. You know, instead of doing like a big reveal, you can't do one. You know. Yeah. So it's just like, it's still. For sure, whenever I go to a house with video, it's still like somewhat of a little thought process for me. Yeah. For me, you know, like it's just like, I know for sure every corner is a slider or whatever, you know, but like the actual entrance of the house or things like that, you always have to show the door where you're coming from, things like that. Yesterday, you remember, I was like, how am I gonna show this door? You know? Yeah. But I ended up showing it somehow. Like I pretty much did what you taught me the other day, was hug the wall. Yeah. And keep moving back. Yeah. Like keep going slanted this way instead of just going straight. Yeah. You know? So I did that, and it showed everything. Yeah. Like it showed the whole, like going into the other room and then the actual door as well. Yeah. So it's just little things like that.
They had like furniture blocking off.
Yeah, it was just
a hallway.
The hallway going to the living room. So it was just pretty much, you got to come up with your own idea type thing, you know? And I watch real estate videos for sure, like all the time. Like not even just ours, but like other people that are like from different countries and stuff.
See what they do.
There's some Asian cat that be doing.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about. Yeah, he's good.
Hido something.
Yeah, he's good.
But he's good, bro.
Yeah, he's good.
He be doing different ones where like he did the same shot, but on a 50 mil, and then 35 mil, and then like a 20 mil or a 60 mil.
But that's what I mean. Like there are specific creators now that are just
that
sticking,
are just innovating that one thing.
just sticking into that category. They're not the photographer. They're just the videographer. The photographer is a photographer.
Exactly.
They're not splitting. You know, they're not the hybrid.
Anyone that's done something like to not perfection, but to make it as good as it is, will tell you I didn't do something else at the time. You know, I'm more than sure a lot of the books that I've seen and a lot of the people that have success, you know, or actually did something with themselves, they stuck to one thing. And then once that one thing is good, you can venture out, you know, but then you're going to venture out to that one other thing, you know? So it's just that, and that's what I think too, is like for people that come into this, learning the both things at once, it does take you a little longer, in my opinion, just because like one day you'll go do photo and one day you'll go do video. It's like one time I think I was doing video for like maybe 2 weeks straight, and then I went to go do a photo house, and I was like, oh shit, you know, you're like, oh, okay, like it's just like you have to have either you're looking at real estate pictures every day or every other day, or you're doing real estate pictures every day. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's how your eye is gonna stay consistent to okay, like let me do this angle, let me do this angle, you know. But when I went back that time, I was like, okay. I was like, it looks good like this. It looks good like this, though. You know, so I was like, all right, it's good like this, you know. And then it's just another little thought process that I had. But then that's just me too. It's like I always over second guess.
No, for sure. Like I think you came in because we were looking for hybrid shooters, and it was no fault to your own too, because you know at the time, like I said, we were kind of starting from scratch. So
photography wasn't like my big
thing, and I needed that hybrid photographer, videographer. So I came in when you came in, and I'm like, hey, you're gonna need to do photos too, at the same time that you're learning the video section. So, but yeah, now that we are now established as a team, whoever comes in could take it a little bit easier, but it also depends on how much money they're going to want to make. Because of course, if you're a hybrid shooter, I could utilize you a lot more, and you could have the opportunity to then pick and choose like, hey, I want to do the photo on this one, or I will do the video on this one, or if not, I want to do both on this house, and then I could make both sections. But yeah, for sure, everything's a learning curve. Like I said, now
and it still is a learning curve because like even with the diamond packages, I do everything good except the editing of the photo. You know what I mean? In the morning, like, well, not in the morning, but in general, the editing of the photo. I've never been the person that edits photos, you know, or things like that. So that's why it's still somewhat not new to me, but like just like it's just a tweaking thing to where I don't. Like the colors, you know, and things like that. Like I'm not as good at seeing things like that as other people, I suppose. You know what I'm saying? So that's why that's still something I'm like for sure trying to work on. Like I need to get that through. Yeah. Because I want to be able to be good at that too. Yeah. You know, not just everything else too.
Yeah, and the thing that I would say to anybody that wants to come into the team, just make yourself an asset to the company, not a liability. And I'm not saying anybody in the team is a liability. It's just the idea that if you're going to come into this team, you have to show me what you're capable of producing, you know, not just on that one spectrum. You know, you have to show me like I could also do other stuff. And this is the other thing that I want to start putting into your guys' thing is that I'm going to start teaching you guys how to do headshots. Once again, I want the company to flourish, but I can't do it by myself. You know, I can't be at the studio 24/7. I'm doing the business meetings, you know, I'm trying to get more business for us. So that means that's time. And then if a client wants a headshot, I'm not around. I'm the only one doing the headshot. So it's another process of, you know, learning, which I hope you guys enjoy. I'm not going to force it on anybody that wants to do it. I'm just going to make it an option for everybody, you know, like, hey, this is another way to make money with the company. And of course, now we're doing the TikTok or the Reels. So now you're shadowing me on that because you're telling me like, hey, I want to be more talkative. I want to learn how to direct the client. And it's something that you have to learn how to do as well. I did it unconsciously in the beginning because I was just doing it, you know, like no one was there teaching me how to direct or how to tell the client, instead of saying it this way, say it this way, or instead of making it so long, could we make it shorter? That confidence built through time too with that directing. But now that I know what I'm doing, now he's coming through and he's almost like going again and becoming that intern because he is now learning those concepts when I'm with the client, how confident I am with when I'm talking to them, when I'm telling them, hey, you messed up here, or let's do it again. You know, let's not even look at it. Let's do it again. But those are different things that we are now going into, and I want to give you guys those options to keep growing as creatives, because it is a space that we could definitely make money, but it's a hard space to have it consistent.
Yeah.
You know, because now we are going into the December, January, and it's going to be a little slower. I'm still making money, you know, regardless if the real estate slows down or not. There's always something for me because of the community, you know, like they already know who I am. So it's either family photos, engagement photos, maternity photos, headshots, you know, or some promoter wants a small little video here and there. And I'm consistently having that income, but that's because I have that knowledge, you know, and I want to give it to everybody in the team. That way, hey, I have this other client, they're wanting this, and this. I could only do this 2 things, but I need someone to cover this. Exactly. And now you guys are going to make that extra money as well. But yeah, that's just the growth of the company, you know, and I want to continue to do that.
And that's the coolest part. That's what I'm saying. That's why, in my opinion, I think this next year is going to be more exciting than this first year for me.
Oh yeah.
Just because of that reason. Like I feel like I'm going to be pushing way more on actually being creative or actually trying to innovate things, you know what I mean? Trying to get better at the things that I am doing right now, just because last year I don't know, it was more of like I want to be good enough to be in the team, you know? I want to be good enough to be part of the team and actually help the team and flourish the team, you know what I mean? And now it's more of like, okay, how can we help the team now in like a creative space, right? You know, in a way where we get more business because we're showing people what we can do, you know?
And I think that I think the Blair Witch little skit that we did is a small example of what we're gonna do. You know, we're gonna do it for ourselves, but then it's gonna show the client, you know, hey, we could also produce something like this, you know, which there is no expectation as far as like when we're just the creatives, because no one's expecting a certain thing. It's just ours, you know, it's in our heads, and I'm like, okay, we're just gonna do it this way, and no one's gonna get mad if we mess it up. You know, there's no stress on that. So I think those are the things that I do want to continue doing, you know.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's like what kind of sold me too on it. That's like the real estate photography. I wasn't like, oh my God, dude, I gotta go to people's homes. Like, I mean, half the time there's like weird smells inside homes. You know, you get lucky if they're taking care of the house, but it's the different doors that are going to open up.
Yeah, for sure.
Opening.
Yeah, for sure.
No, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I just actually remembered because you were saying about things happening earlier. Touch base on that really quick. I almost lost the drone the other day.
Oh, the wind?
Because of the
wind. Remember the wind?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for if anybody listened to the last podcast with me on it, you know, I crashed the drone. So I've been using the Mini, right?
Oh my gosh.
And I was at a listing, and I was like, oh, dude, it was storming, but the storm hadn't got into where I was at yet. It was coming. I knew it was coming, so I was like, you know what? Let me get this drone done real quick. Bada boom, bada bing. I got it up there, and I was at a bird's eye, ready to snag a photo, and it starts drifting. No. And I'm like, don't drift. And I go to push back, and the controller was not working. And it's just going, and I'm like, oh no, what's happening? And like it's down to the end of the street, and I'm like, oh dude, I'm so screwed. I don't know what to do. No. And I like try to call Irvin and be like, bro, help me.
That's when I was telling you I was at a shoot.
Yeah,
I was with Israel.
Okay, so yeah,
I figured it was that day because I'm like that day.
Because I was like trying to communicate with the client, and then I see Jordan calling and texting, and I'm like, what is going on here?
And I'm freaking out, and I'm like trying to get him to answer, and I'm just like, no. The drone, I tried to bring it down, and it broke like some of the pressure of the wind, but all of a sudden I'm going for a tree. I'm like, no, go up. And like I see power lines, and I'm like, oh crap.
Was it on sports mode?
Yes, it was on sports mode, yeah. And then I got to the point where I almost dropped it into somebody's yard, and I was like, I know how to get there. But then this dude has his camera out, aimed at the drone, and I'm like, oh my God. Like, of course, out of all houses, this dude's outside, like, oh, look, there's a drone here. I was like, I can't drop it here. So I end up...
He's going to end up picking it up first.
Yeah, man. I was like, I can't have that. So I literally tried to track back to where I was, and then it was like the corner from where I was at. And I was like, oh, thank God. That was probably the scariest thing that has happened to me so far.
Yeah. That's why I had you guys train on sports mode for that specific reason. Because it's those experiences that you'll remember. And maybe then when I was trying to teach you guys to literally fly in sports
Use
mode.
sports mode.
Like that's the
That's a
reason,
whole different
you know,
type of
that's
flying.
literally the only reason, because once it happens, you have to understand how it's going to maneuver,
Yeah.
you know?
Because when
it
you're in
was
sports
so-
mode, bro, when you going full force straight, and you stop, it's gonna keep going full force
yeah.
straight for a little while, you know? Yeah, like that thing's, yeah, it's
Oh,
no
man.
joke. That's
that
for
was
sure.
so scary though. And then like,
I bet.
I go to the
Poor
realtor,
Jordan.
she's like, "You got it." I was like, "No, I did not get it, dude." And it was pouring by the time I got it,
Got
and
it,
I
yeah.
was scared too because I was like, "Damn."
It's raining. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want the drone to get messed up like in the rain, but yeah, everything, divine timing, man, divine timing, you know.
Yeah.
God got my back.
All right, you guys, we're going to conclude this podcast. Before we conclude, I do want you guys to kind of give a small little brief statement as far as like maybe a little goal that you may have for the next year within the company, or if not yourself, or if you're not, you give like a little short inspirational quote if you have one here and there, and then, you know, we'll clear it out from there.
Goodbye.
Okay. Low quote: "With every adversity carries a seed to an equal or greater opportunity. So be patient." And this next year, I hope that we make many shorts,
All right.
and I will become a better videographer than both these gentlemen here.
All right. Damn, that sounds like a challenge. Sounds like
like
fighting
that.
words right there.
I like it. That's what's up. That's really cool. I'm down for that fight.
Oh my goodness. Oh no. He's going to grip you. He's like,
Healthy competition.
After the podcast, I'm like getting beat up.
All right, I think for me, for sure, a goal is gonna be next time you see me on podcast, I'm gonna be a little skinnier.
oh,
It's a fact.
oh,
It's a fact, all right.
oh, dang.
I'm letting y'all know. I'm gonna be a little skinnier, probably. That's for sure. For sure, I am going to. You'll probably be seeing me way more on my Instagram and things like that.
Okay,
Like on
that's a
the
good
InView
one.
Media Instagram,
Yeah,
I'll
that's a good
probably be doing like lives, like little short reels, probably for
Okay.
myself. And then also for sure, I'm gonna try to get back on the bandwagon of the training videos and things like
Okay.
that. Cause yeah, I think for sure if someone were to ask me what could help you before, I think a training video or
right.
maybe even just like some notes, you know,
All right.
something like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think for sure doing more for the business is for sure the goal.
All right.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's a good one. That's a good one. Ariana?
Oh, me.
Oh, yeah, you're a part of the team too.
You said me? Thought we were skipping me.
No, I think for me it would be doing more like the skits that we're doing stuff like that, but for social media, for our own social media. So just growing our social media, showing you guys more on our social media. I think that's my goal for like the next few months.
Yeah, probably.
And something I want to focus on a bit more.
For next year.
For next year?
Yeah.
Oh, like
Goals
all
for
of
next
year? Oh, shoot.
I got more than.
Well, let me take out my list.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was saying. I'm like, whoa. In that case, I'll just start writing on the wall.
No, I think for me it would definitely be becoming, I think, a stronger leader in the team. I feel like, you know, like you guys obviously like know I've been here a bit longer, so I think there's that kind of just like, oh, you know, she's that seniority, I guess. But I want to push myself to be a little bit stronger of a leader for you guys, as well as the company. So that's my goal.
Lit. Even though she's already a leader, guys.
All right. And then my goal for 2023. That's crazy. That's crazy. That is crazy.
Izzy, all right?
Yeah.
Back
That's
off,
your
man.
year.
Back off, bro.
February 23rd, bro.
Back
It's
off, bro.
Literally my birthday.
All right.
It's my year, bro. 223. Come on.
All right. I think my goal for the company would be just to find my own headspace in the company. Like I said, last year I wasn't in a position where I could kind of almost compliment myself to see what was growing. It was almost like, okay, I grew something to have it even at that level that was at that time. I just need to keep moving. So there was no time to think, you know, like, okay, I have an office, I have a studio or whatever. It was just keep going, you know, like there's nothing else in my headspace. So hopefully this year would be more of the same things that you guys are saying. I do want to be more of the creative, you know, I'm delegating a lot more work to Ariana as far as like, the leadership stuff. And then hopefully I could have you guys come in at one point and then manage a team as well. So that way I could then start thinking more as a creative rather than just consistently just as a business. And it's not that I don't like being the business person. It's just that I never saw myself as just a business person. Yeah. I always saw myself as a creative, not the opposite. Yeah. But now that it is a business, I have to, make sure that we grow. It's not, I don't want to take it for granted either. So that's kind of my goal for next year, is just to find my own headspace within the company as far as like not just the business, but to create again, But yeah, so thank you guys for 2022. It was an interesting year, a lot of hard work, good times, people are forgetting keys, taking off with someone else's keys.
Someone else, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, thank you guys for everything.
But thank you guys too.
And of course, I want to give thanks to George coming through. He's in the back right now.
One day, guys, we will have a camera pointing at the helper.
Yeah, definitely. We'll definitely have a camera there next time for sure.
One day.
Yeah, next time.
All right. When I'm on the camera, when that don't switch.
Oh my goodness.
Well, good thing I'm with you right here. Good thing I'm in the same space as you.
Right? I need to be here, not back there.
I'm gonna be zooming into Jordan and be like,
right.
And thank everyone for listening and tuning in.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Our 10 followers.
Our 10 followers. Thank you.
For everyone listening.
And we're good.